welcome to Jabberjaw. I'm your host, Jessica Dawson Collier, and with me, as always, is Tyson Wheeler Dynas and Matthew David Smith. Guys, welcome.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having us.
Hello. Yes, thank you for coming. It's been a minute.
Yeah,
It's
been pre-Thanksgiving. I was trying to remember.
It has been. Oh yeah, it's been like
pre-turkey
3
day.
weeks, I think. Yeah.
Oh.
So we've got that to talk about.
Tyson's literally grown a beard in that amount of time.
He has. It's incredible.
It's amazing. We're big fans.
Yeah. Mere prepubescent the last time we saw him, and now it's like that creepy 8th grader that everybody had that just managed to grow a beard over the summer.
Did you notice? I mean, did you notice though in high school that it was never the beard? They always, if they could do it, they grew the mustache, which was a terrible call across the board.
It was
big time.
Yeah,
it was.
I mean, it always came in here, not so much here in the middle. It was always on the sides.
Like in some communities that flew. Like I'm guessing some places that was like the sign of masculinity that the ladies were, those 14, 15-year-olds were like, wow, what a guy.
What a guy.
All about it. I was not one of those ladies. I was like, what is on your face?
Beard. I'm 45 years old and I still can't grow a beard. So patchy.
I'm not super happy about this. I mean, it's all white, the beard's all white. So it's like, they have these commercials on TV. It's like, and where they're like, you can color out the whiteness of your beard. But I mean, what color would I use? I mean, it would look like I don't know. So I'm going back to mutton chops. I think that's just a safe bet.
I think that's a safe bet. Yeah.
Yes. Excellent.
Timeless.
Yeah.
I think I still have pictures of you, Tice, when you had a beard and then you shaved it in pieces and then you sent Smith and I pictures of the whole process. And it's fantastic, by the way. There's a Fu Manchu in there that is like...
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Needs to be framed, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I actually might do that with this one because it's bothering me. I mean, I was going to go into surgery, so I was like, okay, well, I'll just grow it out. And, and Beth doesn't mind either way. I mean, when you grow a beard, or a mustache, you have to have your significant other involved in the decision-making process. It's a big deal. It's because you change the way you look, right? So like,
that's true.
You know what I mean? So it's like if somebody really hates it, then you'd be like, okay, that's fine, whatever.
Oh yeah, like 30 years ago, my father shaved off his mustache, which he had since I was born, and I was like, Mom was with another dude for like the first couple months. Like it was very disconcerting because I
did the same thing with my dad. I didn't talk to him for days. I was like, who are you? Yeah.
Well,
so strange.
And there is one family photo of us. I'm probably 8, Sally's probably 6, and Dad has a beard. And it was like the one time he had
shit.
Yeah, and I mean, these genes run rampant. So anyway, the thing is like, I remember my mom complaining about the beard, even at that young age, and I was like, oh, this is a good life lesson to learn. You have to clue in everyone. It'd be like getting a mohawk almost, like honey, I'm gonna get a mohawk. That's just weird, right? But come on, you're cool with it, right?
This will work.
Yeah, no, so
still attracted to me, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
And you're crying. Yeah,
I look like the lead singer from Bow Wow Wow. Is it still doing anything for you? I don't know. That was from Matt.
Thank you. You often remind me of a 15-year-old girl, Tyson says. Yeah, that whole thing with Bow Wow Wow was kind of creepy as fuck. So looking back, it's sort of like, ooh, yikes. Malcolm McLaren. Oh,
I didn't know she was 15. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I know. She was real. I forget what her name was.
I didn't know she was 15.
She was very young. A lot of
guys have said that.
It was very young. Yeah. But Malcolm.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I just Malcolm threw that whole thing together and just like he's not the most I don't know. Let's move on.
You're going for a look. I get it.
Yeah.
You're like
at least a couple good singles though. That's
that's true. Yeah. I like the idea that these many men have said I didn't know she was 15, and in the South they'd say I thought she was 12. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. That hurt. I didn't want to do that, but you made me.
Oh, God. We're going to lose our Mississippi fan base.
Apologies for all of my Southern Belle friends.
Yeah, right.
Your cotillion posse that you have, you know.
Dude, I have a lot of friends that live in Arkansas, so that they may take offense, Tice.
They might.
Okay.
Do they
We
listen to
have
this?
decreased our listenership by 3 people.
We can't afford that.
We can't. That's true. We
We
cannot.
We need everybody.
All
we
right.
do. We do.
All right, you Southern Belles, shoot me your email address and I'll send you a written apology.
Yes,
They'll
every
accept
woman who
it.
lives in the South is surely a belle. I'm just
Yeah,
that's just
absolutely.
the thing.
They're lovely. I love
They're
their little
lovely. Yeah,
accents. It's
yeah.
amazing.
It
Yeah.
is.
And they don't know how to spell Belle. And I've always thought it's interesting, but whatever. But
It's fine. Doesn't matter.
it's fine.
It
It's old
does not
English, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with you guys, but it is weird here today. There's a wind blowing from the south. It is literally like 66 degrees outside right
Damn.
now. Yeah,
Wow.
and
Oh, lucky.
I was sitting outside with the dogs earlier, and I was like, "This is crazy. This should not be happening,"
Yeah,
But
it got very warm here today. It was like in the mid 50s. I think tomorrow it's gonna hit like 60 or a little above 60. So this is like yeah, we did a lot of work as
Thanks, climate
humanity to
change.
make this happen. So I think it's finally time that we take our accolades and be like, we did it. We fucking did it.
all
We
that
killed
Lysol bathroom spray
exactly.
in the 80s,
Oh, exactly.
all paid off.
All those hamburger, containers that we just crumpled up and watched it waft into the atmosphere. The old ozone layer.
My dad told me that, like, when he and his parents, he told me this once. He said that when they would go to Denver from Joaquini, so that's on I-70, they would stop and get food, and then on the way there, they would just shove all the paper and the plastic out the window, and that's how people used to do it. I mean, that was just
doubt. No, absolutely. The interesting thing about that is this is like the one thing that I think that we like sort of like law actually ethically reinforced into people is we just scared the shit out of people for doing that because there was like a $10 fine, right, if you got caught. So you're like, oh, the odds of me getting
not a big deal. Yeah,
away with you, Burger King. And but now, but I think it really has like that. Whatever they did, it really changed that. I mean, for most people, you still see the occasional asshole throw like a soda or something out of their window, but
it still happens.
We were a filthy people in the 80s. We really were.
Well, I mean, that was the 50s.
Gross.
I mean, we were pretty. Well, it would have been the 60s, but I don't know. But yeah, definitely like not cool. I mean, but you wouldn't see that. You would not see that. You're right. You would not see that now because people would be like, road rage. Like,
oh, you would.
I'm gonna run into the back of this car.
At least that'd be like goodwill road rage. I mean, at least that person was shot for a decent reason. They littering. I think that would, but.
Well, especially in Colorado. As soon as you pass the border from Kansas into Colorado and did that shit, you probably get arrested.
Oh, I'm sure
It'd make a citizen's arrest.
That's probably true, yeah.
Some hairy hippie pulls you over.
That's right. Wearing a North Face.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, they're in a Subaru. They've got a dog with them, maybe two.
Absolutely, yeah. North Face jacket's got the. Yeah.
They've got the tuba sandals on. Yeah.
4
like
bikes.
20 degrees.
There's 4 bikes on the back, but there's only 2 people in the car. I don't know what's going on.
Right. The good news is that Bannigan's probably not going to catch up to you, so you don't have to worry about that. The VW bus, you just keep on trucking, they'll pay you.
I do. That's kind of a fun joke in our house because we have a Subaru and we put dogs in it, obviously because we have dogs. And almost every time we see a Subaru out, I mean, half the time you see a dog in there for sure, right? But about the other, I mean, you have to think that they even run commercials where they are like dog-friendly cars, like I mean, that's not necessarily true. One of our dogs actually chewed up the I believe chewed up the headset thing that
the headrest.
The headrest in the back seat. I thought that was fascinating. Yeah. I mean, what are we gonna do? Sell it to somebody? We're not.
Hey, maybe
we're gonna run it till it dies. It's a Subaru. Literally.
And those things don't die. I mean, one of my friends, she's got a Subaru and a dog, 2 dogs now. And they've got it up to like 180K. And I'm like, damn, just keep going. No problems. Yeah, they're great.
Yeah.
Big fan. Subaru, sponsor us.
Subaru.
Yeah. When we did buy a Subaru, a lot of jokes were like, well, you'll still have it when you buy your next Subaru. And my brain was like, no, that's, no. It's like, this is a stopgap solution. We'll figure something else out. When's Audi going to make a dog-friendly car? Probably not, I guess. I guess we will probably keep getting Subarus. I don't know.
Just go with it. I love it. I love having a Subaru. It's the best car I've ever owned.
The
I'll stand by that.
One of our dogs can't stand up in the back, so Beth is determined to get a bigger car so the dog can stand up in the back.
A larger Subaru?
No, that's not big enough.
Oh, they don't make a big enough Subaru.
They don't. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
I don't know what that means. I don't know if we're gonna get a fucking
Cybertruck.
Yeah, Cybertruck. Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you see that?
Dear Lord.
Did you see that thing where they sold stickers on the Cybertrucks? Remember when when Elon did the thing and he was like, "You can't smash these windows," and he smashed
and
those
windows. Yes, and I laughed. Oh, how I laughed. Yeah.
Oh, we all did. Yes.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
And then, but what they did was the Cybertruck, whatever they sell from Tesla, they sell decals for windows that replicate that that broken glass. You can put that on your Cybertruck if you want, and it's sold out. Like, I do not understand Tesla owners. I never will.
They will buy. The fanboys will buy anything from anything. You sell them, and they're on it. They're like, that was hilarious.
Yeah, $55. I was like, okay, all right.
Whoa! Oh my god, that's wow. $55 too much. Yeah, there's been a lot of annoying.
The one thing they could actually, the one thing they could actually make is the sticker. So
yeah, it's a sticker that works. Hopefully, we'll see. To be determined. I've seen a lot of TikToks of guys like finding Cybertrucks in parking lots and like doing the selfie video, but like positioning themselves like just right so that they look super cool by the fucking truck. I'm like, what is happening? That thing looks awful. I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
it's a little too.
No, I'm not either.
Futuresque. Yeah, if you want to call it that. It looks very sharp.
It looks like it does look very sharp. It looks like a prop from an early '80s movie where they built their own version of a military. Kind of like I'm thinking of Megaforce in particular, but yeah, it's very much like that.
Which is why, and I'm man enough to admit this, I actually did do the deposit on the reservation for the Cybertruck like 4.5 years ago.
Oh, shit.
That was.
No shit.
It was like $100, and I was like, what's the worst that can happen? Now you have to remember, I still hated Elon Musk at the time, but not with the intensity that I do today. So I would never buy one. But he also, at the time, because that's what he does. He lies about shit. And so at the time they announced it was going to be $40,000. And I was like, well, okay, that's pretty awesome.
Not bad.
For $40,000. Yeah. And now it's like, I think they raised it to like low 70s, and you won't get delivery on anything less than like $120,000. So it's just, standard operating procedure for Tesla, but I still have my reservation as many times as because I don't know, maybe I can sell that on the secondary market to some asshole.
You should. Somebody will buy it, guaranteed.
Give Andrew Tate a call and be like, hey bud.
Yeah.
Hey, bro.
Just log on to brobay.com and
Brobay.
see if you can unload it there.
Brobay.
Shit, we should start that.
That's a safe bet.
We should start Brobay.
Oh shit, that's not a bad idea.
Hey, you want to buy a $300 belt? I got you. Yep, right here.
I'm gonna bring it. Not UPS. I'm gonna bring it. Yeah. That's Brobay.
I love it.
Just full of ideas this evening.
Yeah.
So many ideas. Wait, what did you guys do for Thanksgiving? What was on the menu? What did you have?
So I'll go. We on actual Thanksgiving proper. So my whole family came out and to see me here in good old Indianapolis.
You hosted?
We hosted. Yes, we hosted.
Excellent.
So they all came out here. And then we did kind of a small intimate gathering with just family on Thursday. And we did, as I shared with you guys, we did the whole Peking duck.
Yes.
As an homage to A Christmas Story. And so Kathy actually found a place where we could get one, but then like as I was reading up on it, I was like, I think I actually like have to ask them like to not cut it up, because I think traditionally it's kind of a difficult thing to carve to get all the meat off of it. And so
Right.
traditionally, so I was like, so I called them and I was like, can I get it not cut? Because I didn't know what the terminology was, so I just
Right.
or uncircumcised basically. I was like, can I get the duck not cut? And he's like, you don't want it cut? And I was like, no cut. And so so it was like great. And so we show up and get delivery, or not delivery, but we ordered it and we drove up there to get it. And we just see this, because we all got like a bunch of other Chinese food too, because it was more of a kind of a gimmicky thing, but we got the traditional fare. But then we just see this giant cardboard box. There's this little duck's head.
Yes.
We're pretty sure that's ours.
So exciting.
Actually went over very well. Actually, really good. I didn't. It was actually pretty good. I'd never had Peking duck before, and so
it was all cooked, right? So you just
it was all cooked.
You disassembled yourself.
We did. Yeah, we just. I don't know who. We were actually gone when somebody hacked the head off, but exciting. And then Saturday we did like the more traditional kind of. We had a bunch of friends over. We had like 16 or 17 people, so it's pretty big.
Oh wow,
pretty big gathering.
Pretty good.
Friends here in Indianapolis and their kids, and they got to play with Allie. So now we had a nice big Thanksgiving. Kathy cooked a tremendous amount of food.
Yeah,
very good.
Kathy.
Very good. Yeah, it was very good. So
very nice.
How about you guys?
Love it. Tice?
Well, so Sally and my parents and Sally's kids went to New York the week before Thanksgiving. So they came back.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They had a good time. And so they came back the day before Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So mom and dad came over that night. And then the next day they went out. We were all going to go out and eat, but I'm not mobile enough. I can't do that right now. So so they went, whatever. So our friend Nikki came over, and Beth and Nikki just cooked stuff all day, and we just hung out, and we had turkey. We had what Beth likes to call the beige plate, which is my personal favorite. It's corn, mashed potatoes, turkey, rolls. No color whatsoever. Maybe some yellows. That's it. And it's just they hate it, so they made their own shit, but they were nice enough to make me my stuff, which was nice. And so we sous vide the turkey breast, and we didn't do a full turkey, we just did turkey breast. And and you got to fry the turkey skin, you got to put it into the oven and fry the hell out of it, and use that as a little thing. So it was pretty good actually. And then we watched football and hung out, and they talked about dogs and I watched football, and that was kind of a thing. So it was nice though. But my parents and Sally, they were all doing Thanksgiving stuff all day the next day, so it was fine. But it was nice. How about you, Doss?
Mine was good as well. We did the turducken, the Madden turducken from Gold Belly.
Very good.
And it was extremely successful. I will say though, I felt bad. Like as soon as you take it out of the bag, and I feel like I've told you guys this, but it really does look like a Frankenstein bird. Like they have the threading that's going through it and this giant like slab of skin, because you got to have that, crispy skin on top, and a shitload of Cajun seasoning. I didn't realize how seasoned it was going to be.
So we actually had the same experience with ours, the same exact, and it was pretty spicy actually.
It was, right?
Really kind of surprised how spicy it was. Yeah.
Well, who provided it to you guys?
Gold Belly.
Gold
Belly? There's one company that I think it is. We got it through Gold Belly.
I feel like it's from Louisiana, some company. Well, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but of course it's like, it's going to be Cajun spice. Yeah. But we liked it. I mean, aside from it maybe being a little over seasoned, like the directions were perfect. It was really like juicy. The duck, especially on the inside of this giant like monstrosity, was delicious. They also had Cajun stuffing, like cornbread stuffing in the fucking thing, which was delicious too. And with the dripping, Smith, I don't know if you guys did this, we made our own gravy. But when I posted the pictures, people were like, "Did you put barbecue sauce all over it? Because it's so dark, like the drippings from it." Yeah. But the gravy was really good. We loved it.
So way too much. Does the chicken go in? Does the duck go in the chicken, and the chicken goes in or is it?
And then the chicken goes into the turkey.
Okay.
And then around that somewhere is I'll post a picture, but there's the stuffing in it. The dressing. People call it stuffing from the Midwest. Other people call it dressing. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna keep calling it stuffing. But yeah, it was very good. I still feel like I'm in a food coma from it.
That's good.
But yeah,
I've never had one. We'll have to try it. Unfortunately, Beth will try to make her own, and it'll be much easier to get a Frankenbird than it would be to...
If Beth makes her own, I will never stop clapping for her, because that sounds like a giant hassle. I
wondered if you and Jonas put that together, because I know you both like to cook, and I was like, that's some impressive shit. I mean, that's a lot of work.
He does like to do that stuff, and he had, made a statement about, because he was going hunting for duck with my dad before, and he's like, what if I just get a duck and then we stuff it into it? You know what I mean? Like, he was going through the steps. And I'm like, Jonas, like, you're not going to do that. That's going to take way too long to like stuff everything and then stuff it into this giant bird and then cover it with, fucking skin. And yeah, we finally decided ordering it.
Let's leave that to John Madden.
Yeah.
John Madden.
Yeah. Thank you, John Madden, for this terrible
your contribution.
His
contribution to society is the turducken.
Yes. Many heart attacks have happened because of this.
That is a great legacy for him, to be fair.
It really is.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean,
that and that damn fucking video game. But yeah. Good on him.
I so wish I could find that thing. So Matt and I's roommate in Florida, John, used to work on the Madden video game. And one time he emailed me, I think this was before you met, he emailed me. So when they make video games, they have something called a skin, and they wrap it around a 3D object. So it's a 2D object that's wrapped around a 3D object to make it look like whatever. And he sent me what John Madden's and Pat Summerall's skins look like when they were flat. And it was the scariest thing I've ever seen.
I bet.
It was imagine Slimer from Ghostbusters, like flesh colored, and I mean I can't even describe. It's H.R. Geiger level shit. I mean, it's bad. Like, it was bad. I so wish I had it. He was like, "Don't tell anybody I sent this to you." Man. But yeah,
you need to find that. The internet needs to see that, Tyson.
No.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh my God, he's dead. It's fine. So is Pat Summerall. He's fine. They're fine.
No big deal.
I'll start a Reddit thread and see if anybody has.
There you go.
That's a good tactic. I like it.
You were in Missouri, right?
Yes. Yeah. We went to Kirksville to visit my mom, my stepdad, and one of my sisters who lives there, Katja, and my brother who lives there. So it was a good time. Matt is actually dipping his toe into video game design. So him and Jonas were checking out what he's done so far with it.
Oh, very cool.
And
very cool.
Jonas is like, I mean, you guys know this, especially from fantasy football. He is a Virgo, and he's very hard to impress. In general, I've been his wife now for 7 years. I can say this with every fiber of my being. But he was impressed with what my brother has done, so I'm super excited now.
That's very cool.
So I'll let you guys know when you can test it and all that stuff. But it's going to be a few more years until he gets it all together.
I would love to talk to your brother about that, because that's something I haven't
You should.
I'm assuming he's using Unreal Engine or something like that. And
well, he's going to be at Christmas this year, so I'm
going to be at Christmas this year, so that'll work.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to Christmas.
Converge. Yeah, and you guys can talk about it. But yeah, he is using Unreal Engine. And,
that's awesome.
So far, so good. Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah.
So we nerded out. We did a lot of, what did we play? We played this mystery game called Black Brim 1879. It's one of those murder mystery games where you open it up and everything's in a packet and you have to solve the mystery together. And then they give you a link to some spooky music to be playing in the background. I highly recommend that. That should be a plug this week. Early plug for anybody who's doing like a family gathering, especially with Christmas coming up. Those kind of games are super fun.
So it's
They're a
funny you mentioned that
headache,
because
but they're fun.
my mom just mentioned the last time I talked to her, she like asked me if I thought that was like a silly idea for us for Christmas. I was like, no, that sounds
Hell
like
no.
fun.
It's
So yeah,
no,
so
you guys should totally do that. Yeah.
absolutely, I will reinforce that idea.
Yeah. Yeah, you should. Tice, have you guys done that at all with any of your You guys play a lot of bridge, I feel like, card
Yeah,
games and
no,
stuff.
if we're gonna if we get into it, we're gonna play the serious the bridge, and if we're not gonna get into it, we're gonna play Crokinole, which is a board game. It's like it's desktop curling is Crokinole,
Oh, yes. Okay.
Interesting.
and
Okay.
it's super fun. Next time you're here, Matt, I tried to get Dawson to play, but it was her first time using a bong, so she didn't feel like she could do
I
anything.
got way too high, let's be honest.
But
I literally got tacos from some place, the food hall that they go to all the time. I was like, these are the best tacos I've ever had. I can't feel my face. So I was not in a
no,
state to play games. Yeah.
but Crokinole is really fun. It's something that our kids introduced us to, and it's you have this. Look it up. It starts with a C. Crokinole. Anyway,
Crokinole.
Broken off.
but
Okay.
we don't do any of those. I don't think that my parents or my sister would be good at like a role playing type game. Um,
Well, it's not necessarily role playing. Like you're literally like solving a mystery together. So you're looking at evidence that's in this little packet and you kind of like give everybody their own like piece of evidence to kind of scroll through and then you try to solve the mystery and there are guidelines that you have to read through but everybody kind of plays their part,
I
Okay.
which is
think
interesting.
Yeah, I would say that based on our experience with my parents and Sally and myself, to be completely honest with you, in an escape room, I don't think that we would be very good at that. Like I mean, we do escape. We did an escape room on vacation last year, and
Uh-huh.
that you can do that. You can ask for 3 questions. We'd burn through
Yeah.
those 3 questions in like 10 minutes, and so like it's like they just basically talked us through. We still didn't get out, but we basically had a narrator going, "You should look over in the corner over there. It's just right there, right in the corner." You know, um, and no. I also really like playing bridge with my parents because I don't know anybody else is going to play bridge with us. Sally doesn't know how to play bridge. I don't know anybody's going to play bridge with us once they're gone. So, eh. Well, that was a dark
You're
note.
keeping it
Sorry.
alive, Tyson. You're keeping the
Uh,
tradition alive.
it's a hard game. It
I'm
really
sure it
is.
is. Yeah, there are like books about it, like books and
Yeah.
books and
Well,
books
don't
about
they do like
contract bridge.
tournaments too? Like
Oh
bridge
yeah,
tournaments out there?
they
Yeah.
do
I feel like
create
that was part of Fargo, like the first season of Fargo.
the thing that they do. Bridge is so exact. I'll give you an example. Is that when you see those tournaments playing, everybody starts off with the exact same hand. So they stage it so so there's no shuffling. You all start with the exact same hand, and to see how many points you can make based on. So it takes it's all skill, no luck.
Wow, that's really interesting. Which I kind of can
That's kind of
appreciate
cool.
that a little bit.
I
That
do
yeah,
too.
Yeah.
I do too.
yeah.
But it's like, but there's 2 things to bridge. There's this basic thing that's basically a pitch or euchre or anything where you have, cards. The higher the card is in a certain suit takes a trick, right? Whatever.
Mhm.
But there's also this other thing where you have to bid, and so and basically bidding is there's a correct way to do it, and then there's 1,000 other ways to do it. And so basically what you have to do is you have to train your partner to understand what you're talking about. Like you
Right.
just be like a 1 club, 2 clubs. If you say 1 club, that means I don't know. I have no idea. There's all
Okay.
this weird shit. So it, if I tried to explain it to you guys now, I couldn't. But once we start playing, we can get back into it within 5 or 10 minutes. But it just takes a lot of practice. And
Yeah.
so anyway, but like some people are very very skilled at it. I personally, um, I actually really like. God damn it, what's the name of that game? It's got the little pegs, and you run around in a little circle.
Like the
It's a
thing at
card.
Cracker Barrel where
Yeah, like it's a keg. No, not that. No,
You're pretty good at
no,
that.
no,
I knew exactly what you were talking about, though, Smith. And then I
yeah,
got a
I
craving for fucking eggs and biscuits. Yeah.
That's right. It's the original IQ test
Yeah,
from
exactly.
far before Stanford and Briggs. There was the Cracker Barrel golf tee IQ test. Yes.
I fucking hate those because I always end up being like, I got 3 left. Fuck. Like, what did I do wrong?
Yeah, I got the test anxiety.
And like everybody, and I'm just as guilty as you're playing that like right before you start mowing down on your biscuits and gravy or whatever the hell. So I'm sure it's not the most sanitary thing in the world.
Not at all. Not at all.
Probably responsible for COVID. That's my theory. It's not the Chinese monkey theory. It's the Cracker Barrel theory.
It's Cracker Barrel.
Origin of COVID.
It's like having an ATM keypad at every table, and everybody's like,
exactly. Who hasn't touched this?
Yeah. Good Lord.
I can't remember the name. Oh, cribbage. That's what I was trying to think of.
Cribbage, yes.
Cribbage. Okay.
Yeah.
I will have made our bones with Best Company when I start to fill out one of my things that I want to do later in life is I want to find the most obscure publications and take out a full page ad in each one of them because it'll cost like $25. And there's a thing called Cribbage Quarterly, and to put a full page ad into that is $50.
Wow.
Oh.
So imagine, and I would just be like, "Hey, I'm Tyson Dynas. I'm a great guy. Thanks for reading Cribbage, whatever." And then that's it. Like that's all. And I would put that in every single one, and I would create a collection of those with "fuck you" money. That's what I would do.
What picture are you going to put in it? Is it going to be the one with you and the dinosaur behind you, Dynas and Dinosaur, where you're like this?
It'll be young Elvis. It won't be old Elvis. I don't know what though. I'm not sure which one. I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
But probably I don't know. There's so many photos yet to be taken. Yeah, no, I would love to. I constantly search out. I have a huge list of obscure publications that maybe 1,000 people read, and I keep a list of them for when I have fuck you money. The other thing I'm going to do with fuck you money, and I've talked to this before, if people have bumper stickers on their cars that I disagree with, I'm just going to ram right into them and say it was an accident.
Yes, you have talked about that.
I can get behind that. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, eventually they would catch on, right?
They will at some point.
Right. Yes. Eventually, State Farm is going to catch on. Yeah, it's like Tyson, we think it's hilarious, but you got to cut that shit out.
Great joke, but it's getting old.
Like there's fuck you money, and then there's fuck you money, and like we can't insure you anymore.
And then there's fuck you from the insurance company. Yeah.
That would be great to be turned down.
Tyson gets blacklisted from all of the insurance companies in the States.
I would be so happy if that happened. I can't even tell you.
You're the coexist vandal. Oh, I know you. All right, yeah.
Oh, that's at the top of the show.
That is a good goal, though. I like the idea of kind of tracking low, what do they call it, distribution or low, volume publications. I'm sure there are like a lot of weird specialty magazines out there.
Tons of them. Like, and if you just sit around and look around your room or look around the house and be like, I wonder if there's a publication for people that professionally, clean or fix clocks. There is one. You just have to look for it. And you just have to think about it. So, again, probably should invest in stocks and bonds, but whatever.
That's cool. And
worry about retirement.
God, I got to get some proposals together for when you have fuck you money.
Yeah.
Taking all comers. You guys are first.
I know. The only downside I see about that is getting shot, which is increasingly more likely probability every day.
That is fair.
The trick is to turn on the trick is to turn on the charm and be like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. If Trump was still president, this wouldn't even be a thing. The cops wouldn't have to be called. We wouldn't have to call our insurance companies. We would have a gentleman's handshake. I'd give you a check for $50. This would be all done. And then they'd be like, yeah, I get it. You're
I think, actually, that's a really good. As soon as you exit your car, like, God damn it, Joe Biden, and I think
and then go into it.
Like, you might have an argument, but you won't get shot.
That fucking bald eagle shirt from the 4th of July too.
That's true.
State your freedom.
What the? Oh! You're one of us. Never mind.
Fuck. Okay, I can't kill you.
Tyson rigs his car so that as soon as somebody with a gun gets out, he just presses a button, the American flag pops down in the back.
That's true. I will. Yeah, and that is arguably one of the reasons I will never put a bumper sticker on my car, because I want to
Fair.
have that plausible deniability. If I get into an accident, I can take whatever place I need to.
Good call.
Yeah.
There is one thing I will do though, and there's something that I was gonna put it on the BMW. I'll wait till the next car. Beth's like, you can't put this on a BMW. And I'm like, well, who fucking cares? Like, I'm not a normal BMW guy, right? But you can buy a sticker decal fit to the back of your window that has the Mystery Science Theater chairs and hosts like looking up. And
that has to happen.
I know, right? I mean, that just has to happen. So yeah, I would love to put it on like something very, very nice, like
oh my God, Tyson.
like a Lamborghini or some shit. But
you're gonna kill Smith when you do that.
God, I thought I was dreaming big, but oh no, I've scratched the surface.
Dream harder. Dream
harder. Like that. Dream harder.
It's so nice to talk to you guys again. It has been too long. Let's do another.
It has been, yeah.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Do you guys want to sashay into the other stuff?
Let's sashay into headlines.
Headlines.
Okay, so
I can't scream into my microphone. Something's wrong with it. So cuts out.
There's some. So I actually had like 14 headlines. So I went through and I got rid of a bunch of them. So these are the ones that made.
Feeling you and Smith definitely like.
I had to parse them down because a lot of like so many were like not even relevant anymore. Right. I had like a seventh mass shooting to replace the first mass shooting. So I just went with, there was just a lot of opportunities.
It's been a
God bless America.
I know, tough couple of weeks.
A little bit.
This is from Sports Illustrated, so this might have been written by AI. Who knows? Al Michaels drops totally random O.J. Simpson story during waning moments of Dolphins Jets game. I don't know. I was watching this when it happened, and I thought it was so funny. And then it made the headline. I was like, "Oh, perfect." So he was like, so the game's like, it's like the Niners are way ahead right at this point, and so they're just talking. Now Michaels has very many interesting stories, including the fact that he claims that he's never eaten a vegetable in his life.
I don't believe that. I've heard him talk about that, and I think that's horseshit. Yeah,
I can't see how you couldn't have escaped it at some point.
Like accidentally have to happen at some point,
right? Like, I mean, even a salsa, maybe somewhere, like I don't know,
anyway. Like a piece of lettuce. I don't know. I mean, good for him.
So they were talking about the Dolphins when the last time they were in the Super Bowl, which was 1985, Super Bowl XIX. And he's like, and quote, by the way, you should know I did that pregame, halftime, and postgame of that Super Bowl in Stanford Stadium. He goes, my analysts were Tom Landry, which was the Cowboys head coach, and O.J. Simpson. Michael said, adding, yes, sir, there you have it, after a beat. And I was like, oh, that's why I love Al Michaels. Anyway, so.
I love him too. He's the best.
He is the best.
Best in the biz. Yeah.
So this is from the Kansas City Star, oddly enough. Eerie, quote, witch bottles are washing up along Gulf of Mexico. It's best not to open them. Did you guys see this headline?
No.
Okay, so they're known as witch bottles. They're created to thwart evil spells. And they're showing up all over the Gulf of Mexico. And they say, and staff are making a point of leaving them unopened. That's because witch bottles are the result of old school spell casting, and studies have revealed that such strange contents as iron nails, rusty pins, hair, and urine can be found within them. So, if you're in the Gulf of Mexico and a green bottle shows up, don't open it. Unless it looks like there's a little scroll inside, then I think it's probably safe.
Probably.
But I put them. See, you learn stuff on this podcast too. You don't. It's not
You
like,
really
You do. Like, is this like that whole like what's the Santeria? Is that what it's called? Like the whole like weird voodoo religion that
well,
they.
well, I don't know.
I'm
It
probably
doesn't.
discouraging an entire population of people that I've never yet.
Well, it doesn't say if it's Wiccan or if it's Santeria or if it's even voodoo. I mean, they're all different things.
Okay.
But yeah. The fact of the
Just don't
matter is,
open them.
the
Just
fact,
don't open
yeah,
them.
don't. Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter
Okay.
is, anybody who wants to cast a spell, they just go online and be like, how can I get rid of, how can I get my ex back? Whatever, blah blah blah. So
right.
Throw a bottle into the sea and let some asshole pick it up.
that's right. Hey, if that gets you through your
This
day,
is a
then
great idea.
Whatever.
God bless you.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, it could be worse. They could be taking shits into Pringle cans. Anyway, I'm sure you guys will get into that.
Oh man, damn Tyson! Spoiler alert. Sorry.
This is from CBS Sports. Broncos win over Browns finishes with final score that's never been seen before in the NFL history. And so this is actually from a I refuse to call it X, a Twitter account called Scorigami. And the final score was Cleveland 12, Denver 29. That's Scorigami. It's the 181st unique final score in the NFL history. So no one had ever finished a game with that particular score.
And what was
I'm sorry, what, man?
What was the score?
It was 12 to 29. 12 to 29. So, which is a pretty weird score. I mean, 29 is kind of, it's hard to get to the 29.
Yeah.
It's a little strange, but yeah, it's the.
Was there like anything weird about the game, like multiple 2-point conversions, or did they?
Well, there was a safety, if I remember correctly. I watched the game because I think it was a Thursday night game. I watched some of the game, I should say. Did you guys see that Chiefs loss on Sunday? Wasn't that rough? Did you guys watch that? Holy shit.
Yes. Well, some of it, the fucking first quarter, and then it was like, well, I'm going to go do something else. This is depressing.
We almost got him. Okay, so let's see. This is from CNN. I suspect Matt has seen this because he's a CNN guy like myself. These magnificent purple and green lights aren't auroras. This is Steve. Yeah. So I
almost had that one. I cut that one, so I'm glad you kept it because I thought it was cute.
Yeah, it's nice. So it's not really an aurora borealis effect, but there was no name for it, so they called it Steve, based on the guy who I think figured it out. Right? Is that correct?
I think that's right.
8 years ago, yada yada. Didn't have a name. There's some shit about an Irish pub. Okay, let's just bail ship on that right now. I don't know. That's too much. And finally, this was sent. Beth really wanted me to get this in here, and it is quite good. This is from the New York Post. Police search for thief who stole van loaded with 10,000 Krispy Kreme donuts.
I did see that. Yep.
So search is underway for an opportunistic donut thief who tore away from a service station early in the morning in a Krispy Kreme van. The alleged burglar fled a servo in Carlingford, north of Sydney. I love English names. Carlingford, Australia, with 10,000 donuts in the van. It was around 3:30 in the morning. This is the police sent this out as a thing because police, this is their one chance to shine as far as being wordsmiths. Quote, police are currently searching for the van and its sweet tooth thief. It's believed she jumped into the van as the driver was inside the service station. They're looking for a woman. Some vaguely racist stuff right there. I'm just going to leave that out. The van, which police said was, quote, regrettably not sprinkled with tracking devices. Hey-oh.
That's a reach.
Yeah. And, quote, if you've got any sweet leads on crispy CCTV footage, do not keep it to yourself. Contact Crime Stoppers.
Hurts. It hurts.
Not nearly as good as the Lawrence PD on their Twitter account. But anyway, those are the headlines. Those are my headlines.
What are you going to do with that many donuts? I just don't know.
That's what I keep thinking about.
Sugar
No idea.
Like, unless you had like a catering gig
it's like a sugar
up.
death. Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
it's like it's his last act. Maybe he was,
maybe.
or her.
Death by donut. Yeah.
I'm gonna get.
Right.
I don't know. He's like, I'm gonna get type 2 diabetes all over again.
Exactly. In one day.
Everyone has dreams.
So long, left foot.
I got another one. It's fine.
That's right. It's fine.
Oh my God. People are weird.
That is.
Be thinking about that for a minute.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, I mean, what if she just wanted one donut? She could have just taken the one donut.
Just the one.
She wasn't sure how hungry she was.
I'll leave the criminal
not
mind.
for a box. Like, oh, there's a truck. I don't know. That seems excessive. It's a little too much.
I don't know, because like the judge and like everybody's gonna be laughing their ass off in that trial. So
Absolutely.
like
that trial's gonna be fucking hilarious.
That's kind of worth it. Like,
I can tell you from experience, having the judge and the prosecuting attorneys and your own attorneys laughing at you at the same time during a court case is fucking brutal. I just want to say that because anyway, whatever.
You're paying for those laughs. That's
yeah. I have yet to tell that story on here, but we'll get to it someday.
Anyway. We'll save it for Christmas.
It's a good one. It is a good one.
It is a good one. It is a good one.
All right, Matt, go.
Okay, so this one seemed like a huge deal at the time. Was the whole? Did you guys follow the whole OpenAI Sam Altman drama that was happening? So this was just an insane story.
Yeah.
So I think this was like right at about the middle or late November. Is that for those who don't know, OpenAI is one of was probably the leading kind of AI large language model company. If people have heard of GPT, that's OpenAI's company. And so a couple weeks ago, the board basically just voted the CEO out, Sam Altman. And he's effectively like the Steve Jobs of Jeff Bezos. Like, he is the face of the company. He was like the company. And it was this whole thing where the board ousted him and they wouldn't say exactly why. And then like a day or two later, Microsoft announced that they were going to hire him. And then I think it was 98% of the employees signed a letter that basically said, if you get rid of Sam Altman, we're going to Microsoft. And so and they had a very small board. They had I think they only had 4 or 5 board members. And so basically it turned into this whole thing where ultimately, I think by Monday or Tuesday of the next week, he was back as CEO and the entire board had been basically eliminated.
I didn't hear that. That makes sense, though.
Really crazy story, just because this company is the craziest thing about that I wasn't really sure about OpenAI until I did sort of kind of researching it. Is it's a nonprofit company, which is like just kind of insane because I think its value is like $50 or $60 billion, which is a lot for a nonprofit.
Yeah.
actually, Matt, having some experience with a little bit of that, nonprofit software organizations fucking they're valued super high. It's a weird thing because they think that it's sorry, not to get into it too much, but the software itself has inherent value. So they make, nonprofits to try to get that going.
Yeah, and that was kind of the thing too about this was it sounded like it kind of legitimately started again, kind of hence the name Open API, is they really, I think, started with kind of altruistic kind of intentions, but shit changes when, the billions start rolling in and you're like,
money, yeah.
And so there were a couple of things that kind of ultimately came out that like might have been that instigated this. Was that one is that they came up with a sort of a general intelligence model, which is basically like cybernetic organisms. It's basically like Terminator 2. Like it's Terminator basically. And so they basically, one of the stories was the board was afraid that like they were going to unleash this technology on the world. And I think that's what fascinated us most about it. It was sort of like I didn't really know whose side to be on, because I use OpenAI. I use their API for several things, but I was like, oh shit, like maybe they were just doing the right thing, kind of protecting us from this general intelligence that will probably have a good chunk of professional careers absorbed into it over the next few years. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. We'll be fine.
Actually,
But just a really
to be
crazy
fair,
story.
it is,
Mhm.
and to be weird, like my company actually it developed its own API based on some configurations. I assume their thing,
Yeah,
and
some
we're
of the
getting
more open source models. Yeah,
there are classes that they're teaching us, across the thing about how to use it. I mean, does that happen to you too, Doss?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in
has
a
it really?
couple of training
Really?
sessions. Yeah, yeah. For what I do as a recruiter, like utilizing it, but also there have been a couple of instances of I don't want to talk too much about. I can't talk too much about it. But anyway, yes, for the vehicles, for the products that Rivian owns. Yes,
Interesting.
it's
No.
being talked about at
Yeah.
length. A
Yeah,
lot
Oh,
more
sweet.
than I
excellent.
thought it would be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Like, I mean, I can't believe they keep hammering on it. I mean, I went to use it. I had to take a test before they would even let me get to the interface.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
So
Okay.
it was, yeah. So I mean, I think
Yeah,
they're
I don't
trying
know if our engineers are having to do that. I assume they are, but yeah.
it was
Yeah.
interesting. I think they're trying to get ahead of this. So to make sure that,
Yes.
this is a
Absolutely.
tool,
Yeah.
it's not going to
Yep.
replace people, you know, even
Yeah.
though it will probably replace people,
Well, I was like, fuck, there goes my job.
Yeah. No, I honestly think like call center representatives will not be a thing in 3 to 5
Nope.
years. They
No.
will not exist
I
because
agree.
you can do it cheaper and better with with AI, and it's going to happen. So it's and attorneys I think are going to like any sort of like
Oh,
research
attorneys
oriented position. They're
attorneys could be
gone.
wiped out. That's a fucking
Absolutely.
old school bullshit fucking guild, as my former CTO used to call it. When you're an attorney, when you're an attorney, you're in a guild, and it's open the doors, and you
That's
only
funny.
can crack the books open.
Oh
It's all bullshit.
yeah.
It's just fucking laws. So anyway.
Yeah. Man, we're gonna have a fantastically interesting race to the end, all of us. Like it's gonna be,
Yes, we are.
it's gonna be
Yes,
so
we
much
are.
fun, guys. And we're gonna be here
Can't
to
wait.
comment on it. It's gonna be great. So this one this one was a local headline, which Indianapolis, some crazy shit happens in Indianapolis on occasion. Uh, and I just want you to read the headline, and I'm curious of like what your interpretation of it is.
Okay.
Indie woman pleads guilty after playground sex ends with inadvertent headshot.
Oh shit. It could be like a gunshot, or more likely a photo, right? That's
No, it was a gunshot.
oh
So
my
Oh
apparently,
God.
there was a couple in Indianapolis having sex at a playground, as people do.
yeah.
And apparently, at some point in time, I don't know if they like wanted the same slide at the same time or whatever. They got into a fight, and a gun went off, and he accidentally shot her partner in the head. I don't remember if he. I don't know if he lived or died.
That's
I'm
some
not
fucking
sure.
hardcore, like risky
Yeah, he
sex, man.
died.
That's
Reckless homicide.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
first off, you're in
yeah.
a public place. Second off, loaded gun. What? Like,
Right, right. Yeah. Anyway, it was more the headline than anything that kind of captured my attention because I was like, what is that talking about? And then I was like, oh yeah, that kind of headshot. But I was like, inadvertent headshot. I had the same thought you did. I thought she like took she was
yeah,
like, this is a good
selfie.
time to
Little
like, yeah,
selfie.
exactly,
Yeah, yeah,
update my
yeah.
LinkedIn profile.
Like,
And no, but nothing to do with the actual intercourse on the playground. So watch your kids. Next one.
Gross.
So as we all
Beware the
know,
slide.
yeah, as we all know, so kind of a sad moment in Congress this week. We lost George
Oh,
Santos,
yes,
was
RIP.
expelled. Our time with him was so short. But anyway,
Georgie.
this is kind of awesome. John Fetterman. The headline is John Fetterman trolls Bob Menendez with social media video recorded by George Santos. So not 48 hours after George Santos was kicked out of Congress, he had a Cameo account, and for
Oh,
$200,
those are gold.
you could have George Santos say something incredibly stupid for you. I believe I shared one with us earlier this week, but apparently John Fetterman thought it was a pretty funny idea to send Bob Menendez some Air Force which I thought was just hysterical. I
I
thought it was
love
just
it.
hysterical, and yeah, here is like I don't need to describe how like what pieces of shit the GOP are, but this one apparently what happened on his what expulsion what do you call that when he was expelled from government his whatever he
yeah.
apparently he found out that like there was a representative who his personal credit card had been stolen by George Santos and had personal charge. So apparently this dude emailed because they voted twice, right? And they kept him in. That was the last straw. Apparently one of their own had his credit card taken. They're like, oh, well, this is unacceptable. So that's ultimately why he got kicked out of Congress. Not because he's a piece of shit, but because he stole money from another piece of shit. So take that for what it's worth. What else?
Did you guys catch Saturday Night Live this week?
No, not yet.
I caught the intro, which is pretty funny.
Is it pretty good?
Yeah,
it's pretty funny. Yeah, it's pretty funny. This one I shared. Oh, Guardian. I shared this one earlier. This has been going on for a few weeks, and I actually saw one of these players a few weeks ago. But the ultimate betrayal. More details emerge in the Hall & Oates lawsuit. So apparently,
oh my god, amazing.
So apparently, John Hall actually ordered a restraining order. Daryl Hall against John Oates, and so. Oh, they're so confusing. And apparently, so this has gotten and I think the issue is that it's all about royalties. And I think Oates wants to sell his portion of the sort of, I guess, the licensing rights, which he's getting older. I'm sure he probably fucking does. Which I'm sure is for Hall & Oates is probably a considerable amount of money. I would think. But I don't know.
I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean more than Taylor Swift's catalog, yeah, for sure.
I would hope so. But
I would hope not. So. Jesus.
Oh god damn it!
Her sold for $300 million.
Oh.
Oh god, I don't even.
I can't do it. We'll keep it going.
Why?
We can't talk about Taylor Swift anymore.
No.
Done.
Drawing a line.
So anyway, so apparently it's all over royalties, and so apparently Daryl Hall went out and basically just did this set of all these songs that they co-wrote together, which I think he's prohibited to do. And so that just kind of set this off to a whole new level. So anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. But I hate to see this, guys. I hate to see them fight.
It's sad.
You know what?
How do you feel about this? This is your favorite.
It is true. It's it is a thing. But I will say that I do feel, and I did see them a couple of years ago, and and the anger and the irritance was palpable on the stage. I mean, you could tell. I mean, they couldn't have been further away from each other. And the other lead guitar player, John, would rub up against and lean back, and do all this shit. And I was like, okay, we get it. You've got a new, you're flipping the bird. John Oates, so we get it.
Interesting.
So I mean, so I don't know. Well, so Daryl's House. I don't know if you guys ever watched that. It was a show.
Yeah.
And that's coming back. It's great. I've always enjoyed it. Yeah, and that's coming back. So I think that basically, I would be happy if they dissolved their thing, because he kept saying it's a business partnership. It's not a creative partnership. And so, but that's bullshit, because I look at album covers and who writes songs, and they co-wrote a shit ton of songs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, they may not.
He just didn't sing on most of those, isn't that right? It was mostly.
Yeah. Well, he sang back. He just didn't sing lead. I mean, but there's some great stuff that he did. Possession, Obsession, and some good songs. But the thing is, it's that they're business partners. It's too much. So anyway, I understand why he wants to sell it. I think they should just let it happen. That way they can go their separate ways, and they don't have to fucking deal with each other. And I don't have to look at them miserable whenever I see them together on television or a concert or whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, just disappointing to see when friends fight.
It is. I don't think they've been friends for a very long time. So.
No, I just hope that this is a lesson to the both of you, that when we finally decide to sell off this show, that we look back on this moment and realize that friendship first.
Okay. All right.
It's good advice, Smith.
Last one.
Keep that intact.
This was what I shared
hundreds
earlier
of dollars will be splitting between the three of us.
Yeah,
dream bigger, Dawson. Dream bigger.
No, dream harder, Smith.
Dream harder. Sorry, dream bigger. Dream harder.
That's
oh
$78. That's $78, which is my third. I could use that right now.
I don't even know how to split that 3 ways. Oh, damn it.
Well, that's my third.
Hopefully, ChatGPT makes the progress.
Come on. Yeah, exactly.
Last story, which Tyson alluded to earlier. Ohio lawyer suspended after chucking poop-filled Pringles can from his car. And I have to find the quote. It doesn't have the quote, but he said he did make some quote, and it's not it must have been a different article, but his quote regarding this was he was just very excited at the thought of somebody finding that shit-filled Pringles can and seeing the reaction on their face, which I thought was, again, dream harder. I think that's
yes, that. So, yes, that is someone who dreams really hard. Yeah.
In the first article, he said, I just did it to blow off steam. Now, when I think about that, I mean, that's a double entendre on its own, all right? But that's fine. Steaming pile of shit. We get it. Anyway, but the thing is, that is so much work. Like, shitting into a can of Pringles requires planning and some level of
aim.
I was gonna say manual dexterity.
Trajectory.
So like, I mean, he's just like, I was just blowing off steam. That smoking a cigarette when you don't smoke cigarettes is blowing off steam. The Pringles can and throwing it at a fucking attorney.
I feel bad for the Pringles company. They did nothing wrong.
They did
offer a unique packaging solution, and we shat all over it. And that's
that's exactly what happened.
The only thing I know about this guy is he is soon to join Donald Trump's legal defense team because this is the kind of quality lawyer. Yeah. It's only a matter of time.
Maybe he'll have a cameo. Actually, I like Dawson's comment.
That'd be a fun one.
Cameo.
I like Dawson's because when you sent that, Dawson was like, "Well, I'm off Pringles for a while."
I did, and I stayed off of it for like a week. There's literally there are these health food brand rip-off Pringles from Australia. I think the brand is Good Life, and I just kept staring them in the pantry, and I'm like, nope, there's poop in them.
I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready.
Because it just makes me think about the whole process that guy went through to make that shit happen.
It does.
Yeah,
shit
happened.
Yeah,
you probably had to practice a few times.
Not worth it, buddy. Not worth it.
Not. It's right. It's better just to go after those lays because nobody did anything terrible with the bag.
Yep.
Those are my headlines.
Sorry, I spoiled it, but I don't think anybody could have possibly understood what I was talking about when I just casually mentioned it because it's so fucking unbelievable. He's been doing it for years. He said in the fucking
so gross.
Yeah.
So
he was a serial Pringle pooper.
Serial pooper.
Serial Pringle pooper. It's like mixed.
That's
a good one. That's a hashtag coming up. Yeah.
Maybe we should make a Christmas tree ornament that says Pringle Pooper.
And it's got the Pringles can, but then it's got the poop emoji coming out of it.
Yeah.
Oh shit! We're gonna open up an Etsy account. Yeah, we're gonna open up an Etsy account.
Forever. Poop puns, it's like a never-ending.
We gotta protect our assets from each other. Yeah,
yes, we do. Hey, assets. We keep going. All right. I got a couple. I feel like you guys are kings of the podcast this week, but I do have a few. And this is a little old, but I still love it. And this, I know a lot of online publications posted about this, but Red Lobster's popular endless shrimp deal ate into its profits. This is from the New York Times. So I feel like everybody who listens to this show has gone to Red Lobster. There's a lot of Midwest listeners. They like the cheddar biscuits, big fans of the Red Lobster. It was how we
access seafood. I didn't know what seafood was until Red Lobster. Right, yeah, absolutely.
I thought for most of my childhood, that's where you went to get seafood.
Me
that
too.
Was it.
Right,
yeah,
absolutely.
Literally, and especially the endless shrimp thing is whoa, this is amazing. But apparently the $20 endless shrimp deal that they had literally ate into their profits, their third quarter profits so bad they lost $11 million. So in the fourth quarter, they had to raise the price to $25.
They did. They did. And congratulations to those Red Lobster customers who did that shit, because I know
would
they
just
were
like
like,
to
because I
applaud
got
you
it.
on that.
I support that.
Yeah.
Like I get that. Like,
I
oh
do
yeah, I'm taking
too.
them for a ride. I'm taking them for a ride. That's like God.
Like
At
a Simpsons
wholesale prices.
episode where
Oh
like
my.
Homer
Oh,
goes to the
absolutely.
all-you-can-eat
Yeah.
buffet and
Oh, yeah.
just fucking like demolishes it.
Oh,
Yeah.
The Hungry Fisherman. Yeah, that's
Yep.
Oh yeah.
classic one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he takes him to court.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking hilarious. I love it. Yeah, that's your
feel
bad
good
Red
story of the
Lobster.
week. Yeah.
It is. It really
Yeah.
is. And then this one's really stupid, but I don't know if you guys have seen Hugh Grant talking shit on how much he hated filming the Wonka film.
I saw
but
a little bit about that the other day. Yeah.
Hilarious. BuzzFeed posted it. I highly recommend this to everyone, but just go to it because he has so many quotes of how much he hated it. But my favorite one was, "I have lots of children and need money." That was the reason. And there's this beautiful video. You guys, I'll send it to you. It's him and Timothy Chalamet, who plays Willy Wonka in the movie. And Timothy's in this like really stupid, I guess it's fashionable, like almost see-through black shirt, whatever. It's designer thing. I don't fucking get it. And Hugh Grant comes up because they're literally, his publicist is like pushing him to take a picture next to Timothy. And he just glares, like looks him up and down, glaring at his outfit, rolls his eyes, then takes the picture with him. Fucking funny. Like, I love how angry Hugh Grant is.
So he legitimately like just hated the idea of doing the movie.
Hated
like,
the idea. He doesn't even want to make movies anymore. He literally just needs money for his family. That's it. He's off the fucking rails. It's great.
Well, apparently it hasn't gotten terrible reviews. Like it's gotten semi-decent reviews, which surprised me. So
I saw earlier today. It's gotten currently at the time when I saw it, it had an 85 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It doesn't look that bad. There's one trailer that looks shitty, but there's another one that gets me in the feels. So yeah, I'm gonna see it.
I'm one of the few people that I don't like the original. I never watched the remake. And,
for real?
Yeah, for real. I don't like it. I don't do
Why?
not like that movie. I don't know. Maybe it's because Gene Wilder. If you're watching it in the right light, he could be a serial killer. Or
that's a fact. Yeah.
Or he's like a gene. I don't know. I mean,
That's why I loved it as a kid, because it was creepy as hell, and
it's creepy as shit.
My parents know how creepy this movie is. Like,
also, like this thing, like where all the aunts and uncles are sharing the same. I mean, like there's just lots of things. When I saw it as a kid, I'm poor.
Yeah.
I'm not poor, but
and they're lazy.
They're lazy. Okay, well that's probably it.
Grandma Georgina Tyson. They all like that.
No, I just never liked the movie, and I
Grandpa wake up when he got the golden ticket. That guy was like doing a shimmy dance, like fucking. When do we go?
Yeah.
I thought that's where old people went when they got old. I thought they just poured up in a bed, waited it out till they got their golden ticket, so to speak.
You got to stay in this bed until something good happens, and then
that's how I want to live out my retirement. Nieces, take note. Yeah,
like the night shirts or whatever those night.
The Ebenezer Scrooge bullshit.
I can't wait. Retirement's gonna rule. Yeah,
retirement's gonna rule.
We went into a liquor store the other day, and they had one of those people there at the door. That like free. Want to try this free cocktail? You want to try free? Taste this, blah blah blah. And I was just thinking to myself, I was like, I never do it. Because I'm just like, that's for retired people. Retired people don't have an agenda. They didn't just get off work. They're just not trying to just get home. They just, So I think I'll when I retire, I'll just hit all the liquor stores for free tastings. That would be basically.
You should.
I think what? I have no doubt there are people that do that. I know there are people that do
It's
that,
gotta
and
be right.
they are on
The
the public
senior
road.
citizen discount on stuff. Like, there's a lot to look forward to.
I'm an AARP already, and I almost brought the publication up today. It was so funny. It's like, we answer your questions about health, and some of the questions are like, does any cold medicine really work? Does using my cell phone break my brain? Do I need to get another COVID shot? I mean, like, I was just like,
Oh, fuck.
yes, no, no, yes, no. Like, damn it! Like, who the fuck doesn't know this stuff? Anyway, sorry.
Apparently, the
Oh,
elderly.
God. That's slightly terrifying. All right. Well,
How many people are too much for one bed?
That's right. Yeah.
Good question.
I mean, they're aunts and uncles from different sides of the family. I mean, that seems weird, but whatever.
Gotta make it work. Gotta make it work. All right. Let's do some plugs.
You, the ice cream manufacturer. You, the frozen food distributor. And you, the food retailer. Stand today in the midst of a selling revolution. For today, you're in a merchandising era of self-service, where display and accessibility are the key to successful merchandising. Yes, today's problem is merchandising. To sell in high volume for high profits, frozen products are impulse items, and impulse buying is primarily an emotional decision.
Can you guys still hear me? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I lost an earbud and I was freaking out. It was gone. It just disappeared on me. So I don't know where it is. So
Oh, shit.
it's mono for the rest of the show, y'all.
Sorry,
Nope,
man.
you're good.
Okay.
We'll find it, hopefully.
Yeah,
We'll see.
hopefully.
Well, it'll turn up.
Don't vacuum
Yeah.
until you find it.
Yeah, don't do that.
I made that mistake before. Yeah.
Ugh,
Okay,
it's not good.
as usual, I'll go first. So we saw the Marvels.
How was it?
I enjoyed it very much. I really liked it.
Okay.
Here's a couple things about. So right now it's very in vogue not to like superhero movies. Like everyone's like, oh,
It's very popular. Yeah.
too many.
I've been cool for years.
yeah. Matt's been. He started the actual bandwagon.
Damn it.
I did. Batman '89 was the last good superhero movie in my book. So, yeah.
Shut up! I saw Spider-Man 2 with
Agree to
and
disagree.
You did.
You
did.
couldn't get enough of that. Anyway, so I saw the Marvels. It's very good. It is a little confusing because there's some story. You know, I watch all that stuff, right? So the Disney Plus stuff and the movies, and so
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a. There's been a glitch. I think they're gonna fix it. They try to do too much too fast. But anyway, to see the movie, the Marvels, though, you really should watch the Miss Marvel show on Disney Plus. I know people hate that, but she's such an important character in this movie that you really need to understand her to understand the rest of the movie. But anyway, I liked it. I don't give a shit. I was looking at it's got like a 60 plus. It's got like a 60 something Rotten Tomatoes, so it's not certified fresh, but it's good. But I was reading through the things, and it was like half of them were like, "This is the way Marvel movies should be," and the other half were like, God damn it, another Marvel movie. I'm like, well, don't fucking, I know it's your job,
Then
but
don't go. Yeah.
go see fucking, whatever. Oh shit, earthquake.
Man, all kinds of technical difficulties.
All kinds. I just kicked over my. I'm going to turn off my camera real quick.
Might have been do you think it might have just calling it the Marvels just kind of tricked them a little bit? It was like, that's a little too much.
Well, here's the deal. There's Miss Marvel, and then there's Captain Marvel, and Miss Marvel is a super fan of Captain Marvel, so there's some fangirl stuff going on. And then there's another character who is called Photon, but I don't think they actually named her in the show. There's kind of a funny little thing, but you're probably right. The other thing is that none of the actors could do any publicity for the movie because the strike was going on.
Yeah.
Oh, right, sure.
So I mean, that I am positive that people go see movies because they see stars on Fallon or Kimmel or whatever, and they're like, oh, that looks good, but they couldn't do any of that stuff. So I think, but whatever. Watch this. I did watch the Please Don't Destroy movie, The Treasure of Foggy Mountain on the cock, which I hope we can get that going as a normal thing. Everyone should call it the cock.
I think you're gonna get
please.
there. Yeah.
But I actually really liked it.
How was Conan in that? That's the only thing I care about.
He was great.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah. So like he's great. And there's lots
of good. He's a terrible actor, so anything that he's in, I'm down for.
He is a terrible actor, but like he basically he was good. And then the thing about the movie is it's insanely dumb. Doesn't make any sense. Bowen Yang's in it. A bunch of very funny people are in it. But it's just these little things that they do. With these guys, the Please Don't Destroy guys are from Saturday Night Live, and they do like a little film segment every week or whatever. And they made this movie, and they wrote it. And for a first movie, it's silly, but it's not bad. And the reason it works is because those guys have amazing chemistry. So that's like there's just little bits and pieces, dialogue here and there. Your mileage may vary, obviously, but I enjoyed it quite a bit.
We watched it. It is very stupid, and it's curious that you said it was their first movie because I guarantee you it's also their last. But we enjoyed, but it is very stupid. Like you have to be in the right kind of frame of mind to watch that film.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's silly. I mean, there's some dumb line. It's like he's like, how are you gonna have so many kids? You can't afford to pay them. And he's like, oh shit, I'd have to feed them dog food. And then somebody says something, and he's like still thinking about it. He's like, or hay. And there's something so funny about that line. Feeding your kids hay, that just makes me laugh. Anyway, recommended. But if you don't like if you didn't like Anchorman, don't watch this movie.
Okay. I'm definitely watching it.
Well, Anchorman is a goddamn masterpiece, so don't hold it up to that standard. But there's a show on Apple TV called Monarch, which is sort of a show
it's on the list,
sort of about Godzilla and King Kong, the place where those guys come from.
It's got the Russell boys in it, Kurt and his son.
Yeah, and Wyatt, and that's the hook. So like his son plays him back in the 40s and 50s, and his dad plays him current day. And that in and of itself is worth watching because it's fun to see those guys sort of just be themselves. But but anyway, it's so there's I think there's 4 episodes. There might have been a 5th one today, but anyway, I highly recommend it. It's better already than any of the new Godzilla movies that have come out. And while I really liked King Kong Skull Island, I thought that was a really good movie. But anyway, just if you like that kind of thing, check it out.
What was it called again? I'm actually a little curious about this.
It's called Monarch.
Okay.
And that's the name of the company that started investigating these kaiju to try to figure out what the fuck was going on with them.
Kurt Russell fan,
Yeah, oh yeah, he's great at it too. Dude does not age. I don't know how old that guy is.
I fucking love that guy.
I don't know how old he is, but I mean, he
also has great hair. Like you both have great hair. He is a guy who's just like consistently had great hair throughout all of his life.
He does.
It's awesome.
It's that Disney magic. It's that Disney magic. Just keeps follicles.
Have you heard that story? Have you heard that story that like on Walt Disney's deathbed, he said Kurt Russell? That was like one of the last things he said. He name-checked Kurt Russell. Have you heard this story?
What?
I have not heard that. I'll have to look into that. I mean, that dude was in like, he
was in a lot.
One of my favorite Kurt Russell things is called Dad, Can I Borrow the Car? Do you guys know about this?
I don't think so.
It's a Disney short from like the late 60s, early 70s, but whenever acid was very popular and accessible, because that's when it was made. It is brilliant. Like if you get Disney Plus, I don't know if it's on Disney Plus or not, but it's this like short, like 25 or 30-minute film with him about like it is crazy pants, but to borrow a phrase from Tyson. But it's very good. But I'm a huge Kurt Russell fan.
I'll have to look it up. I saw him interviewed by somebody. Maybe it was on Hot Ones, or I don't remember where it was. But somebody asked him.
I kind of like the poster for it. That's kind of cool.
Oh, exactly. Like it's all like crazy, like kind of 60s animation, and it's up on the whatever the. I'll get you a copy.
Okay.
How about that?
All right, that sounds good. connect that plex finally. Um, so I've been watching Top Gear on Roku like constantly. Beth and I both adore that show. Top Gear, if you don't know what that is, it's a English uh, sort of, it's a TV show about cars. It sounds terribly boring, but it is the absolute. It's basically like three grown men who act like children and try to do the dumbest, awesomest things they can think of
with a really good budget, like
with an
which is
amazing
like,
budget.
yeah,
The budget's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, like I've seen, and so like I had watched a lot of them, but this channel on Roku plays the entire run. So I've seen things that I have not seen. Like for example, they drove to the North Pole in a car, and they raced a pack of dogs to see if they could get there, who was going to be faster. They drove a car off an aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean. I mean, like it's yeah. So it's anyway. We just
they're
been
also
watching.
very funny. Like the hosts are also like just kind of inherently very funny and just kind of like likable, I guess.
Super likable, yeah,
yeah.
like yeah. They were quite popular. I guess they were big, huge stars in the UK. I didn't realize how much they were, but they definitely were. Anyway, if you go into thinking like I don't want to watch a show about cars, just forget that. Just go watch Top Gear.
My life's consumed by cars, so when I take a break in the evenings, I really don't want to see anything with four wheels.
I heard this song on the Download 15 on XMU radio, Sirius XMU, called Lake Song. It's by this artist name called A.L. West, A.L. West. And this guy has put out one record. He's from Austin. The record's called The Store. I loved the song. I was so impressed with the song that I went and I was just going to buy it off Bandcamp because that's where it's at.
Yeah.
And I could download it for $8. I could buy the download for $8, or or for $11 you could actually buy one of 50 cassettes that he has produced for this thing.
Nice.
So I went ahead and bought the cassette just to support him. Really amazing stuff. Like I just can't tell you. Like I've just been blown away with it. I bought the cassette just based on the song, and then I went and listened to the rest of it, and it's I don't know.
What is his name again, Tice?
A.L. West. That's not his real name, but that's the name of his project.
Okay.
And it's on I don't know where it is exactly, but it's on Bandcamp, and he could probably use the money. So
I think I think it's funny you mentioned. I think we're due for a cassette revival. I think we're going to see a revival.
No, it's coming.
It's happening.
Is it already happening?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, no, it's happening. I have several cassettes just from various things that I didn't, that came with another package or whatever. Okay, so now I'm going to show off my stuff. So there's this band called American Analog Set.
Last time
they're
long time ago.
They're from Austin. The last time they put out a record was 2005, and this is their first record since then. And it does not sound like what they used to sound. There's bits and pieces of it. They sound different, but it's good.
That was the Punk as Fuck, right? That was their song. Was that Punk as Fuck?
Yeah.
On their 2005. Yeah. Okay. That's what I remember.
They Julie Come Home.
Really good album.
Yeah.
Really good album.
Great record. Anyway, I'm quite happy with this. They only printed 1,000, but they said that they're going to print more. So anyway, and you can get it on. I found it on Bandcamp as well. This band I've been following for years and years called the Rural Alberta Advantage.
Yes, I love that band. Cool.
Great record. They haven't put out a record in like 6 or 8 years. I can't remember exactly. Very, very good. Very good.
And that's new or that's a reissue?
That's new. That's
very good.
Brand new record,
cool. I'll check it out.
Sloan, perennial favorite of mine, released a live record a couple of weeks ago. It's called Alive and All Right, and it is basically every song from I can't remember the name of the record, but the record's the one that has "Losing California," which is arguably my favorite rock song by them. Anyway, and it's on. It's in 45, like RPMs, so it's got a little higher fidelity than a 33. So it's a full length record, but you play it at 45. So it's really good. So this is kind of interesting because like there are gaps in my record collection, obviously. But I had one copy of this. So this is In Utero, and I've had this for a while. It came out in 2013, and it was a mix where Steve Albini went in and mixed the entire record himself and added in a bunch of different guitars.
Yeah.
And the version that was released was mixed by Albini, but also had Scott Litt mix some of the things they thought would be singles, like um, uh, Pennyroyal Tea, Heart Shaped Box, Francis Farmer. Um, so anyway, so I've had this, and the 30th anniversary of In Utero was about 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow!
Oh shit!
And
okay.
this is a clean transfer. But what's great about this, and this is what I love, it comes with a little 10-inch. Ooh.
Oh, nice.
And on the 10-inch, it has all 5 of the extra tracks from that recording section. So
oh, cool.
That's dope.
Yeah, so Marigold, Sappy, Moist Vagina, I Hate Myself and I Want to Die. Sappy and I Hate Myself and Want to Die are 2 of the best Nirvana songs of all time. And they were too, I think if I remember correctly reading it, they were too poppy to put on In Utero. So they decided to release them as B-sides.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting.
I Hate Myself and I Want to Die is the hidden track from the Beavis and Butthead soundtrack at the end. And
that's a fun fact.
Yeah, I do remember that weirdly.
And Sappy is just an absolute banger of a fucking Nirvana song. So anyway, so it's been a few weeks. You know, I pre-order all this stuff, so it eventually shows up. I don't know what's going to show up. I love it. Stuff just shows up, and
Christmas
I'm like,
every day at the Dynas household.
Yeah.
If you love mail as much as I love mail, you got to make
it love mail.
Yep, not as much as
mail.
Tyson. No one in the history of civilization. Yeah.
So anyway, well, yeah. So those are all my pluses. If I was going to say, I was thinking about doing an unplug, but I can't remember what it was. So don't worry about it. Never mind. All right. Those are my plugs.
We're not supposed to watch it or listen to it ananyway, so you might make that mistake on your own, folks.
That's right. Yeah. don't say I didn't warn you, because I didn't warn you.
Because I didn't. Hey.
Didn't warn you?
Didn't? What? All right, Smith, you're up.
I do have a few. I usually don't have a lot of plugs, but it's been a good last few weeks. So first, the softest plug I have is for Thriller 40, the documentary about the 40th anniversary of Michael Jackson's Thriller. I'm forgetting, I think it might be on Hulu. We just watched it the other night. It's interesting, but it's also interesting to see the lack of people they were able to get to discuss Michael Jackson. Because again, like it is sort of a kind of a touchy thing to use a terrible phrase. But it was interesting. It just talks about kind of the recording of the album and how kind of legitimately huge it was at the time, because it was. I mean, it was the biggest album for decades. I mean, I think it sold like 30 or 40 million copies like contemporaneously, which is just insane.
Bonkers,
So it's really interesting. There's not a lot of new information in it, but it's a decent watch if you've got the time. It's only about an hour and a half long, but it just was really sort of underwhelmed because it's freaking Michael Jackson, and I was really kind of like, an Usher talks for like half of it. I'm just like, why is Usher here? Like, I'm like, I get it's Usher, but like it really did seem like people were just kind of shying away from it. So it's kind of unfortunate. He did release, they also released an accompanying record, which has a few demos, which have been previously unreleased. My favorite, I'm forgetting the name of the song, but apparently, do you guys remember the most racist movie of all time, called The Toy, starring Richard Pryor?
I do remember
1983. Oh God, it's been a minute, but yes.
He did a theme song for that movie, which was previously unreleased, and so that's also that was that track that I was most. But there actually are some really kind of just interesting like early versions of like Beat It, and like it's just kind of some interesting demos that I don't think had made the light of day. So kind of a soft plug. Like again, I get it; it's sort of a controversial figure, but he did do some pretty amazing shit in the early 80s. So.
Well, I read somewhere that he used to sing the parts in the studio.
He did. He could never play an instrument, so he would basically he would hum like the
bass line
everything
or something.
yeah, basically like the bass line or the chord structure. And then he would, because he legitimately did he did write a lot of those songs, or at least co-write them. And so I think some of these demos, it's cool is because you can kind of see it's sort of like the next escalation from like him kind of humming into something. So again, a terrible phrase to use, but sorry, it's too easy.
I'm loving it.
Let's change subjects. Anyway, kind of a soft recommendation. We did enjoy it. It was just mildly interesting.
I know we're running long. I don't give a fuck. Most racist movie ever. I mean, do you think what was more racist in your opinion, Soul Man or The Toy?
Oh, I forgot about Soul Man. You're right. Soul Man is
pretty
Soul
up
Man
there.
is what was his name?
C.
Thomas C. Howell. C. Thomas Howell in blackface for 95 minutes. So yeah, you're probably right on that one.
I believe Ray Dong Chong was in that. Anyway, whatever.
Willy Wonka gets 4 remakes. Soul Man will probably.
Soul Man, none.
That will take a brave director. A brave director will tackle that in a few years. Now for kind of the more solid things that we really enjoyed. The Artful Dodger, which just got released on Hulu, I think about a week ago. I loved the series. It takes place in kind of like mid to late 1800s in Australia. And I'm just going to give away a little bit of it because I think most people will go into this. It really has a lot to do with surgery or early surgery. Which you would never expect from the theme. But one of my favorite things is like they just basically talk shit about Oliver Twist the whole time, which is just hysterical. It really is just, I think, a brilliant reimagining of just kind of taking, old literature and turning it into something new with known characters. Really, really good show. We kind of went into it not assuming a whole lot, and like I said, I think we blew through it in like 3 days because it was just really good.
What's that on? What's that on?
It's on Hulu, and so the whole thing. It was one of the few that they just released the whole thing, so you can kind of stream it at will. But really, really good. Like I think I said on Tech, it's probably one of my favorite shows, if not my favorite show of the year.
Wow. All right.
My next
end of year review. Yeah.
Well, come to my next plug, which is Fargo, season 5, which has just come out. I love the direction they're going. They're using a contemporary sort of time frame this time, which I think is the first time they've done that. And it's just excellent. I think Fargo is just one of the best active series right now. It's so good. And if you haven't,
Juno Temple is
she's my god, she's like amazing in everything she does. And now really, really good. Was not disappointed at all. I can't wait. I need to do a rewatch. I've not rewatched the first 4 seasons, but it's on the list because they're so good. And for those in the know, they basically recast every season. They reset the theme, location, time frame, and cast. This is something like British television has done for quite a long time. It's not that common in the U.S., but it's just so good and really fun. And they also they space it out too. Like I think the first season of Fargo was like 10 years ago. So it's been it's been. You guys want to feel old? By the way, I figured out. You know what turned 20 in November?
No.
The first episode of Arrested Development. 20 years ago. Yeah. I thought that hit you hard.
I remember buying that for
pre-Will Arnett hair plugs.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway.
The last one is a documentary on Netflix, and the subject matter really didn't capture me. It's really good, and it's called "Exposed: The Ghost Train Fire."
And that's on the list too.
A theme park fire that took place in Australia in, I believe, 1979, and it is just brutal storytelling. Like it is just brutal to hear the story of what happened. But then, and we've only gotten through the first episode and a half, but it turns into this whole other thing after sort of the initial tragedy. So Watch the first episode. It's again, it's hard. It is kind of hard to watch because it's really sad and it's about like people burning alive in a fire, which is never fun. But it is very just. It's interesting to see where it's going, and so it's we're gonna finish it. I think that's what I'm saying. We're gonna get through it. So those are my plugs.
Yeah,
very nice.
I like it. Good stuff. All right, I've got a few. Most of them have to deal with cults because there's a lot of fucking programming for cults. I mean, it is everywhere. Like literally every streaming station you go to, there's some documentary about some cult. But I did want to list my favorites. So the first one I watched two of them about the same subject matter, called Escaping Twin Flames doc series on Netflix. There is another one on Hulu that I would actually recommend more than the one on Netflix because the woman who did it is from Vice Media and she just does a better job of just like piecing the story together and getting better interviews.
So there are two different ones.
There are two different ones. I got
confused. Yeah. Okay. All right.
So it's just, I mean, it's literally about these two Looney Tunes that find each other online. And then they push this whole concept of finding your twin flame.
Oh.
But it is much more than that. Like it gets into crazy areas, like for example, and I'm not ruining anything, but like, actually, I don't want to give too much away. But they made up this program, like this meal program, that is all about carbs to literally fatten up the women.
Oh my.
As an example.
Yeah, like Hansel and Gretel style.
Yeah, exactly like that. And they just ran with it. So weird. They also, this guy who, as you'll find, he kind of mimics himself as white Jesus and tells people to follow their twin flame. Whoever your ex was is your twin flame. So they essentially encourage you to stalk your ex. And so there are multiple accounts of women getting arrested, getting restraining orders, shit like that. I mean, it is just like the craziest shit. It just makes me feel really awful for a certain sector of women out there in the world. And then I don't want to give the biggest thing away, but he actually encourages people, I'm just going to ruin it. Spoiler alert, fast forward, whatever, to transition into men. Like, and that is by far the worst thing to watch and stomach. Like he convinces these women that they have a masculine energy and therefore they should transition and convinces a lot of them to do it. So the trans community is like, I mean, they give so many interviews with people that are like, this is fucked. Like this needs to be stopped. So, it's hard. Some of it's really hard to stomach, but I will say again, the one on Hulu is way better than the one on Netflix, but you should watch both.
What's
just
it called?
To compare and contrast. Escaping Twin Flames.
Twin Flames.
And then I think the one on Hulu is called Desperately Seeking Significant Other or something like that. Something to that effect.
And that was the one you thought was the Hulu.
The one on Hulu, yeah. That's really good. And then there's another cult documentary series on
how's your holiday going?
I have just been like, whoop. I mean, some friends, including you guys, I feel like have been like, Dawson, are you okay? And I'm just like fascinated by all of it. There's one on this is my favorite one. There's one on HBO, whatever, the Max, whatever you want to call it. It's called Love is One, The Cult of Mother God. And this is a cult that was based out of Colorado, actually. And it is, if we were to sum it up, it's about this woman who literally just like says, I'm done with my family. And when I say family, her husband, her two kids, leaves them for this guy who's like maybe 40 years old, older than she is. They just do a shitload of LSD. And then she decides, has this awakening that she is Mother God. And then forms this crazy fucking cult from this concept and has all these followers. I mean, there's a lot, but basically she believes that there are these things called galactics that talk to her. And one of them is Robin Williams, like the most prominent one is Robin Williams, and he is sending her messages, like all this shit.
Wow.
Meanwhile, she has a legit drug problem and alcohol problem that eventually ends up killing her. They end up at one point, I mean, she deteriorates significantly. Like, I don't even want to give you her actual age because at the end, it is shocking how old she actually is. But they're feeding her shots of like, what is it? Silver.
Colloidal silver.
Yeah, colloidal silver that essentially turns her blue. Like, towards the end of her life, she's this blue, skinny, because again, the Galactics are telling her in order to board this spaceship that's going to take her to whatever, she needs to weigh 103 pounds.
Oh, geez.
So she is not only blue, she's this tiny little skeletor of a woman. It is, and just to hear the accounts from the people who are in the cult, especially Father God, I mean, it is like you just need to take a break between each episode because it's a lot to handle. Smith, did you watch this?
Oh, we did. We finished it. And I'll tell you, it was like, here's the thing, because it's like 3 or 4 parts. I think I don't remember how many.
Yeah,
parts.
I think it's like 3. Yeah,
like the first couple, you're just watching, and because it's interviewing these people like present day.
Yeah,
and they're still all in. They're still
all in.
Yeah, and so you really are just laughing your ass off at these people because they're like she's. I hate to use this term, but I don't. It's like she's kind of like white trash.
Like she's totally white trash. No, it's
like,
fine.
Like bitch this and bitch that, and like just talk like just kind of low lives. And like, but they're all like, and it's just, and there's only like 15 people or 20 people in the cult, but they do like YouTube videos to raise money, and it's just very disconcerting.
And that's like one of the funniest things because there's this guy who handles all the money who ends up taking all the money at the end.
Awesome. I was so proud of that guy by the end. I was like,
you're the best guy out of this whole fucking thing. Like Tyson, he took like hundreds of thousands of dollars from this fucking cult.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it. And then like the creepy thing is like, whatever, spoiler alert again, Mother God dies and they have like this mummified version of her with like Christmas lights around her in their fucking house for weeks until the police arrive and they're like, you guys are fucking batshit. This is not okay. It's fascinating.
You're right.
I mean,
if you're gonna watch one of those, watch that one because it is immensely. It is quick paced. It's immensely entertaining, and pretty funny.
It's really funny. I laughed a lot.
Yeah, we did too.
Yeah, it's again on the Max. It's called Love Is One. Love of Mother God. Tyson, you will fucking crack up so much. I really think you'll enjoy it.
No, I can't.
More so than the Twin Flames thing. I feel like you'll be like, but Love Is One. You're into that for sure.
The problem
that was the funny thing, Dawson, is did you catch that like they crossed over where even in the Mother God thing they would refer to each other as their twin flame, which I just thought was hysterical.
I did too. I was like, this is just like, I mean, it made my day actually.
Crazy is consistent.
You should watch it in order. So watch the Twin Flames stupid shit, then get into Love Is One. And then it just gets crazier from there.
It's like the proper way of watching the Star Wars.
Yes. And then after that, all of the other ones, like I've started watching the Harry Christian one and like other stuff. And I'm like, they're okay. Yeah.
It's about like some weird cabin. It's a little slow, but no, this one's
a little slow. It's not as good. Not as well made. But then a couple other plugs. Well, this is not really on cults, but they do talk about cults. A podcast called Chinwag with Paul Giamatti and Stephen Asma, who is his friend, but he's got his doctorate in philosophy, and they just talk about paranormal stuff. So it's all like interviewing celebrities, other scientists about like Bigfoot, ghosts, all kinds of shit. I am into it. I love it. It's funny as hell. Really good conversation. They actually had Catherine Hahn on to talk about cults. And she was high as fuck during the whole thing. And it's just really funny to hear Catherine Hahn talk about all of these freaking cults in the funniest way. So big fan of that podcast. We listened to a lot of it on our road trip to Missouri and back. So check that out. And then we saw Napoleon in theaters. We actually went to IMAX to see it.
Very curious about that.
Quite good. I have to say, as far as like Ridley Scott still has it. The war scenes are probably the best I've ever seen. And I don't know if that's because we saw it in IMAX and you're just in that sort of atmosphere of like, holy fucking shit, this
Actually,
is amazing.
To be fair, the clips I've seen look phenomenal. So,
oh my God, they're incredible. I really recommend people see it in the theater. And if you can see it in IMAX, you should see it in IMAX. Joaquin Phoenix is brilliant. Also, Vanessa Kirby, who plays his wife, is fucking amazing. So I feel like they're going to get tons of awards, or they should.
They said it's also kind of funny, right? Like,
it's very funny. Yeah, we were
just,
laughing a lot, which was pretty surprising. So
yeah, it didn't quite seem to fit the format, but yeah, no, it's
not
really
at all. I was like, wow, this is actually happening, but it didn't really take away from anything either. So yeah, I really liked it. And then that's about it. Oh, one more plug. We went to a German Christmas market in downtown Denver, and if you live in the Colorado area, you should check it out. Super fun. It's in Civic Center Park for the rest of this month. They have a beer garden. They have all kinds of cool little shops. You can get like ornaments and all kinds of little stuff for stocking stuffers and shit like that. So lots of bratwurst, good bratwurst. Jonas had an elk bratwurst, which was really interesting, and really good German beers and
that had to
wine.
be pretty lean for a bratwurst, right?
It was, but I don't know. They definitely put some fat into it. I'm not sure from where, but
right?
Yeah, to actually like make it a true bratwurst, but it was delicious. Yeah. And I know they had, I don't know, Krampus on Tuesday, which I guess was pretty badass. I heard from a couple people. So worth your time. It's kind of a pain in the ass to park down there, but other than that, it's worth it. It's just downtown Denver. It's just like fucking nightmare anymore. That's also me just being old and not wanting to drive anywhere.
That happens to all of us.
It does.
It all happens. Okay. Well, see, it's hard. Okay, I'll just tell you the problem. Beth won't watch these cult shows or murder shows or anything like that because she used to work. Because she used to work in a psych hospital and she used to work around people that were disturbed and she just hates it because it reminds her of people she used to treat and stuff like that. And so, I mean, she won't even watch Titus, that show Titus, because the characters are too mean to each other. You know, like that shit. Anyway, so I ended up watching this stuff by myself, and which is kind of funny, but like that guy that killed his wife and his son, the guy in South Carolina maybe, and he just got thrown in jail. Murdaugh. Yeah, I watched those by myself. Those, I watched both of them. But that guy just got 160 years.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that.
I didn't see that they got a verdict.
He's gone. He's gone. There's no. And this is the stuff that he got was just for his business dealings. This had nothing to do with the murder stuff.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Buster definitely killed that one dude. So I'm looking forward to that trial. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. Actually.
Buster's a little weirdo, just like his dad.
Ginger, you can't trust him.
Nope.
Murdaugh.
Love it.
The proper pronunciation. Yes. And it's Alec, not Alex. That was something else that was like, really? What the fuck?
Yeah, well, he can talk to his, cellmate about,
That's right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's going to have a lot of time.
Oh, boy.
Good times.
All right.
All right, everybody.
All right.
That is it. That is all.
That is all we got.
We'll be back, I think, next week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good holiday.
Yeah. I have an assignment for you guys.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay. There's a documentary that I think came out today. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it came out today. It's called Disturbance in the Force. And it is a documentary about how in the hell the Star Wars holiday special came about.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm all over this.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
I've watched it with you at least once.
Yes.
And it is batshit crazy.
It is nuts. Yeah.
What is it on, Tice?
Well, I think it's on everything. Like it's on Apple, and I think it's released as a documentary. So I think it's just
okay.
It's like you have to rent it, but it'll be on Flex. But yeah, it's. I'm just looking at it. I'm looking at the cast. This is the cast that lists Bruce Vilanch, Kevin Smith, Weird Al Yankovic. So I have a feeling a lot of people wanted to talk about this. Have you ever seen the original Star Wars Holiday show, Dawson?
I have not. No.
Okay, I will send you a
I
link.
wasn't even aware of it. Should I watch that first and then watch?
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. Maybe twice. Okay. I will send you a link. It is insane.
I'm excited. Okay.
It will seem like it's 9 hours long. It's like 90 minutes long.
Yes.
It seems like it's 9 hours long. It is.
It is beyond comprehensible. It is beyond comprehensible.
Yeah. You thought Disney could fuck up the Star Wars universe? Oh no. which is
ain't
that's
seen nothing yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Tyson is like he hid this. He purposely.
Oh yeah. He destroyed. He
all
bought up every copy that he could find.
Yeah.
And destroyed them. I mean, like VHS copies. And the version I have is a riff track version, and it actually has the commercials, from the live broadcast in the thing. It is insane, Dawson. Yeah, he was so embarrassed by it. Here's the thing. As a service to the Force, in 1978, filmmaker George Lucas is persuaded to turn over Star Wars to the world of 1970s variety hour, culminating in the Star Wars Holiday Specials, 1978, often cited as one of the worst forms of entertainment of all time. I'll just give
the endorsement.
Here's some people. Here's some people that are in. Tim Curry, Jefferson Airplane.
Yes. Oh shit. Okay.
B. Arthur's in it. She plays a bartender.
That's it. That's all you have to say about anything. I'm in.
Okay. It is a next level. So
it's very exciting news. So yeah.
All right. Yes, I'm down. So I also need to pee really bad. We gotta wrap this up.
Shit up.
All right. Guys, always a pleasure. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
Adios.
Bye guys. I think I'll do the same.